Hello and welcome to Libangang Pagong Gaming Channel. I'm DK and back again with PlayStation Deals Essential Picks video. In this video, get ready to add more games to your collection as we share with you 30 games currently on sale on the PlayStation Store. From thrilling adventures, RPGs, pull-up action, shooter to simulation and horror games, these deals have something for every gamer. These games are not included in the PS Plus subscription, so why not grab them at their lowest price? Subscribe to our channel to join us in exploring the vast world of PlayStation. Let's get it on. Enjoy the video. Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is a 2020 platform game developed by Toys for Bob and published by Activision. The game's story follows Crash Bandicoot and his sister Coco as they recover the all-powerful Quantum Mask in a bid to prevent Dr. Neo Cortex and Dr. Nefarious Trophy from taking over the multiverse. They are indirectly aided by their former enemy, Dingodile, and an adventuring alternate dimension counterpart of Crash all-girlfriend, Tauna. The game's levels takes place and progress along a linear map divided into 10 dimensions, each with its theme. The player can switch between controlling Crash or Coco at any time on the map. The Quantum Mask is a new feature introduced to the series. There are 4 magical masks scattered throughout the game that grant Crash and Coco special powers to traverse obstacles during particular segments. Each character features its own unique movesets. Dying Light: The Following Enhanced Edition includes Dying Light The Following, and downloadable content released for the original game. Dying Light: The Following is an expansion pack for the 2015 survival horror game Dying Light. Set on a map that is twice as large as the 2 previous maps of Dying Light, the expansion pack's gameplay is similar to that of the main game, where the infected are slow and fragile during the daytime and become aggressive and fast at night. Players can use parkour movements such as climbing ledge, leaping, sliding, jumping, and ziplining to move between places and kill enemies. One of the new features introduced is a drivable dune buggy. Players can use them to quickly travel across the game's world and mow down enemies. The game features several new weapons such as a crossbow and a variety of new firearms such as submachine guns and revolvers. Its self-contained story, while slow to start, gradually becomes an engaging conspiracy thriller, complete with tension, intrigue, and a few genuinely surprising twists. Generation Zero is set in the familiar but hostile open world of Astertarn, Sweden. The once peaceful home has now been overrun by mysterious deadly machine enemies. You must choose your battles wisely as you engage in adrenaline-pumping guerrilla combat against mechanical forces. Explore a huge map inspired by the Swedish Cold War era, where dangers lurks on every street, in every patch of forest, and deep inside every bunker. Engage in tense battles against sophisticated and deadly machines. Take them on solo or together with up to 3 friends. Can you smart a relentless enemy designed to hunt you down? Grow stronger as you gain experience fighting back against the machines. Scavenge parts from your fallen enemies and use them to craft equipment, weapons, and ammunition. Build and fortify your bases across the island and start taking back your home. Lastly, discover the truth behind what happened to the region of Astertarm. LEGO Marvel Super Heroes is a 2013 LEGO Team action-adventure video game developed by Traveler's Tales and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. The game's storyline sees various heroes from the Marvel Universe joining forces to foil the schemes of Doctor Doom and Loki, who have also recruited several villains to aid them and seek to conquer the Earth using the Doom Ray of Doom, a device built from the shards of the Silver Surfer's board called Cosmic Bricks. Following the gameplay style of past LEGO titles, players can control 180 characters from the Marvel Universe, each with unique abilities. Players can also explore the Marvel version of New York City, though they can only use a specific character and access buildings after the campaign is complete. In addition, many of the main LEGO minifigure characters are based on their appearance from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This game is a ported version of Mr. Driller Dreamland, released in 2002 for other platforms. The game retains the simple-to-operate and challenging action puzzle game style but with new graphics and a casual mode for those who want to enjoy digging through Dreamland at a leisurely pace. You can also play the classic mode with the same difficulty level as the original. The more you play the game, the more in-game points you accumulate, which you can use to collect thriller cards, buy souvenirs, and more. The game features a 4-player mode where everyone can enjoy playing Mr. Driller together. In addition, an online battle function has been added to this title. Built 500 meters beneath the Earth's surface, Dreamland is a secret amusement park developed jointly by the Drillers Association and the Underground Kingdom. 6 drillers of diverse personalities and abilities are here to play. The challenge is to take on 5 attraction games with wide variety of activities such as Great Adventure, Mysterious Universe, Horror, and more. From the creators of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons comes A Way Out, an exclusive co-op adventure in which you take on the role of one of 2 convicts attempting a daring jailbreak. What begins as a thrilling breakout quickly developed into an unpredictable emotional adventure that has never been seen or played before. 2 players are required to play the game. Each player controls one of the main characters, Leo and Vincent, as they form an ill-fated alliance to escape from jail and win their freedom. If you play the game believing it required a 2-player co-op is just a gimmick, you will probably realize that there was no other way it could have been done. Together, you and your companion will complete both mundane and dramatic tasks as you unfold Vincent and Leo's journey. The result is a thrilling action-packed cinematic experience that resembles what Telltale's games may have become if they had leaned more heavily on game mechanics rather than eliminating them. The Unravel Yarny bundle contains Unravel and Unravel 2. Unravel is a visually stunning physics-based puzzle platformer that introduces a new lovable and endearing character made from a single thread of yarn that slowly unravels as he embarks on a seemingly larger-than-life journey. Yarny's engaging abilities give it a charm as a puzzler, but as a platforming adventure, it's a little bit unremarkable. However, to judge it only on these mechanical features would be to ignore its greater achievement, the way it evokes subtle and complex emotion through the use of nature and nostalgia. In Unravel 2, you create a Yarny of your very own and build relationships with other Yarnies in local co-op or as a single player, fostering friendship and support as you journey together. While its main story might not have the emotional punch of the original, Unravel 2 improves upon the original in every other aspect. The platforming is more responsive and demanding, while the puzzles are far more inventive and satisfying to solve, which is largely due to the excellent implementation of a second character and co-op. It still works as a solo adventure but is far more enjoyable if played with a companion. In the Hood, Outlaws, and Legends, rebels and rogue battle mercilessly to claim their place among legends. To win influence with oppressed people, rival gangs compete in daring heists to hit the wealthy where it hurts. Whether you're a folk hero or a gold-hungry outlaw, only the best will escape with hard-earned riches. 2 teams of 4 players compete to execute the perfect heist in medieval environments patrolled by deadly AI guards. The players can move in stealth using their unique skills and mystical abilities to steal treasures or dominate the stage through loud and brutal combat. The main idea is that you and 3 fellow burglars work to steal loot from the incompetent powers within a 3-stage process. First, you steal a key to a vault, then break into the said vault, and finally make off with the goods. Chris is a young, optimistic girl who is lost in her world while coping with a traumatic event. Her dress represents her journey through sorrow and gives her new abilities to navigate her faded reality. As the story develops, Grace experiences emotional growth. She sees her world in a new perspective which makes her see new possibilities with her abilities. Grace is a peaceful and moving experience that is devoid of peril, frustration, or death. Players will explore a meticulously designed world that has been painstakingly created and is brought to life by exquisite artwork, detailed animation, and an elegant original score. As more of Grill's world is made accessible throughout the game, simple puzzles, platforming sequence, and optional skill-based challenges will emerge. In Grease, there is little text, and only straightforward control reminders are shown using common icons. No matter what language you speak, everybody can enjoy the game. Even if the game doesn't sound like your preferences, the game deserves a try. Anodyne 2 Return to Dusk combines the thrilling scale and cinematic storytelling of 3D games with the tight design and easy-to-pick-up satisfaction of 2D action adventures. You can explore gorgeous and haunting locales, speak with strangers, and make friends and memories throughout the game. Nanodust infects the islander of the New Tilan, distorting their emotions and desires. You play as Nova, a nano-cleaner tasked with seeking out the sick and shrinking inside their body to suction up the dust. You can traverse cities, valleys, and wastelands, then shrink into varied mindscapes of characters. From snowy aurora-lit valleys to perilous volcanic construction sites with art that reimagines the 16-bit and 32-bit console eras. Anodyne 2 Return to Dust is a work of art you absolutely must play. It's heartfelt and personal, with tons of fun puzzles to solve and locations to explore. In this Magic Battle action game, players take part in a 4-on-4 team battles and cast an array of magic spells to defeat the opposing team. You can assume one of the 4 roles: fighter, healer, support, and range. You must use your role and spells to the best possible effect and cooperate with your teammates to win the battle. The protagonist, Asta, is the only boy unable to use magic in a world where magic is everything. Despite this affliction, Asta managed to overcome all sorts of hurdles with the help of his friends and persists in his goal of becoming the Wizard King. This game also includes an original story not depicted in the Black Clover anime series. Yame Sukihiro, the captain of Asta's Night Order, the Black Bulls, suddenly grows younger just as a mysterious mage launches an attack on the Clover Kingdom. Join Asta and his friends as they embark on a new adventure of trials and tribulations. A new battlefield appears in the EDF series. This time, it's a 3D Earth where everything is made of cubes. Naturally, this world is square-shaped, not round. Voxel Earth has broken apart into millions of lucky pieces, making a huge mess. Round or square, Earth is still Earth, and so now that Earth Defense Force must rise to the occasion and restore our shattered world. EDF members are struggling in isolated locations around the world. You can build your very own Earth Defense Force team by rescuing and assembling them. Each mission is tackled by a 4-member team that players mix and match to maximize their abilities so that they can lay waste to their enemies. Classic soldiers, characters, and weapons from the very first game, the Earth Defense Force, to the latest numbered title, Earth Defense Force 5, as well as the various EDF series spin-offs return in voxelated form. Longtime fans of the series are in for a serious dose of nostalgia, while those who have never played an EDF game before will enjoy Earth Defense Force World Brothers as an introduction to the series that started it all. Smash skeletons, defeat dragons, and fight giant golems in Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure. Experience the acclaimed 2013 quest that started it all in this standalone campaign, jam-packed with fantasy, fun, and mountains of magical loot. The queen's been captured, and her kingdom is in peril. Only you and your friends can restore peace to this eccentric enchanted land. Blast your way through treacherous forests, spooky crypts, and fearsome fortresses. Beware that your journey can change in an instant on account of Tina's gleefully chaotic whims. Dive into this epic tabletop romp and get ready for the fantasy fight of your life. Choose your character from a roster of 6 unique Bolt Hunters, each with their signature abilities and powerful builds, and jump into chaotic fantasy battles in solo or co-op. Vanquish any villains who get in your way using an assortment of super firearms while firing lightning bolts and fireballs from your fingertips with spellcast-style grenade modes. From B1 Interactive, the co-creator of Halo, comes Disintegration, a sci-fi first-person shooter combining FPS and real-time strategy elements. Set soon on Earth, the only hope for human survival is through integration, a process developed to preserve human brains and robotic armatures. You play as Romer Shoal, a former Grab Cycle pilot in command of a small resistance force, still grasping onto the fading memories of their human selves. With the domineering Rayun's forces set on eliminating the final remnants of human society, it is up to Romer and his crew of outlaws to fight back and reboot humanity. Pilot weaponized Grab Cycles and command your crew on the ground by leveraging a variety of unique abilities to dominate the battle. Pilot a heavily armed Grab Cycle featuring a variety of firepower, maneuverability, and abilities. You can also command your crew on the ground, directing them to attack targets, pick up items, and use their unique abilities to turn the tide in battle. In this game, you must confront Rayon, a rising global army set on eliminating what remains of humanity. Time Carnage is a frantic VR survival shooter. Travel through time and wreak havoc through worlds swarming with dinosaurs, monsters, robots, and zombies. Unlock and upgrade your arsenal to survive the onslaught. You must choose your weapons wisely, as you will manually swap up active guns on the fly in a 16-tier campaign or custom arcade mode, complete with perks, challenges, and mystery items. Immerse yourself in a post-apocalyptic world, prehistoric jungle, icy wasteland, and a futuristic metropolis. For each zone, you'll handpick a selection of guns to suit your playstyle and battle with the time reload systems as you unlock an arsenal of over 25 mix-and-match dual-wielding weapons. Shoot, drop, switch, repeat. The Hackett's Quarry Counselors organize a party to commemorate the end of summer camp. However, things immediately start to go south. The party preparations unravel into an unpredictably terrifying nights as the group is pursued by bloody locals and something much more terrible. Throughout the roughly 9-hour campaign, you take on the role of one of the 9 camp counselors at a time. Through exploration scenes, conversation choices, quick time events, stealth, simple combat, and interruptions, which provide you with a brief opportunity to make a swift action, you can affect how its events unfold. The complexity of these actions can be changed in the game using a variety of accessibility options, and there is also movie mode. You can play online with up to 7 friends, and they can watch the action unfold and cast votes on important choices to affect the story as a whole. The game has a strong script delivered by the excellent cast, and the slow-burning story can lead to several satisfying conclusions. In 2019, Capcom developed and published the survival horror game Resident Evil 2, a remake of the video game Resident Evil 2 from 1998. Players takes control of college student Claire Redfield and rookie police officer Leon S. Kennedy as they try to escape Raccoon City during a zombie uprising. The gameplay and story of this remake have been reimagined for modern audiences. The player has a choice between 2 characters in the game. The final boss, supporting protagonists, storyline, locations, objects, and weaponry are all impacted by the protagonist that is picked. The player can freely explore the environment around them while they scavenge for supplies, including healing items, ammunition, and key items needed to solve puzzles and advance the story. All the best elements of the original Resident Evil 2 have been faithfully recreated by Capcom and have been updated to look, sound, and play like a 2019 title. The zombie combat is satisfying, and exploring Raccoon City's ruins is exciting. It's an intense, horrifying experience that completely rebuilds the game and doesn't feel out of place at all on high-end modern hardware. In this game, the player takes the role of Detective Bishop, a diligent investigator who tirelessly works on cases late into the night. When the night takes a nightmarish turn, you will be met with red-eye machinations that have apparently locked down the police department and trapped you inside. It is up to you to survive long enough to discover the truth of what drives your animatronic captors. You explore the dark police station and must carefully navigate its halls to avoid enigmatic enemies. Equipped with only a flashlight and a tablet to monitor the security cameras, you'll have to use cabinets and closets to conceal yourself while being pursued. Make sure to catch your breath and find clues as your surroundings change throughout a long and terrifying night. Evil Inside is a first-person psychological horror experience, combining exploration and classic adventure inspirations with atmospheric audiovisual design. Set in a home that's ever-changing through its descent into madness, this story's end can only be reached by overcoming fear, accepting the terror that surrounds it, and pressing forward despite it. Collect the missing pieces of the spiritual world as you explore and attempt to reunite with the one who might understand. A teenager must take charge of his younger brother and make sense of their overturned lives following his mother's death and the recent arrest of his father. With so many questions and no one left to answer them, Mark decides to use a spiritual board to contact the ghost of his mother, Rose, because of his hope that she can guide him. But when the spiritual board explodes and causes Mark to suddenly face out of existence, he will have to contend with all manner of paranormal events if he wants to learn the truth. The tale of a special red wine created by the Bunny DeBoss family said to possess the power to cure the devil's fever leads protagonist Marty on a mission to find it to save his family from the said ailment in Horror Tales The Wine. Navigating an abandoned city, largely in ruins, leads the player on the first-person horror experience that twists reality and provides company in the form of a headless apparition that stalks the player at regular intervals. Unable to fight back, the player must run, solve puzzles, and find the wine in the reality-bending horror tale. You must solve environmental riddles, physics puzzles, and other similar challenges in an interconnected vertical world while being chased and hunted. You can tweak more than 20 accessibility settings to create a tailored experience for you. You can also use the photo mode to make perfect shots and unlock many secrets using it.
Super Robot Wars 5, the second game of the Super Robot Wars 25th anniversary, is a tactical role-playing game published by Bandai Namco Entertainment, with story elements and utilizes the same graphics engine seen in third Super Robot Wars Z, but with an inclusion of a 3D isometric map unlike its predecessor. This standalone title features a dream ensemble of 26 mecha anime series that will completely reshape the game world and tell a wholly original story. On the battlefield, the player and enemy take turns to order their units with commands available, such as movement, attacking, forming squad, and casting spirit commands, a set of magic-like spells unique to each pilot. This Super Robot Wars game is well designed and runs smoothly on all platforms. The game has its charm and a great list of units to get lost in, and it's a bit of a change of pace from Super Robot Wars T. ActRaiser Renaissance is a remastered version of ActRaiser, which combines 2D platforming action, Realm Acts, with a city-building simulation, Realm Management, in the ultimate battle between good and evil in HD. It also features a remastered soundtrack with 15 new music tracks that sent shockwaves through the gaming world when it was first released. You must help humanity to flourish by acting as the Lord of Light and their loyal angel in a world beset by evil. Renaissance does a fantastic job capturing the original look and feel of the original title into a gorgeous experience. It even copied the game's famous Mode 7 dives into each region and recreated the pixelated maps of the game's grand continent, adding new stories, new realms, and a powerful new boss. It also has the autosave feature, extra input commands in the action stages, and difficulty levels. Natural Doctrine is a 2014 tactical role-playing game by Kadokawa Games. The game is a fantasy simulation type RPG based on the concept of natural selection. It is a grand story filled with single mode, various combats, and the fun of multiplayer mode from the cooperation play. This is the king of simulation RPGs on PlayStation. This game is incorporated with dynamic battles, unique transitions in perspectives, and character controls. The story is about how humans defend themselves from the sub-race and other races in a world fighting with sword and magic. Within a world of chaos, humans built the fortress city of Feast as their home and fought against other species. The protagonist Joff is a guard soldier who sets out to clear out goblin dens to grant access to resources. Natural Doctrine makes an effort to be a ruthless tactical role-playing game that punishes you for the slightest error, and it also most definitely succeeds in doing so. It also penalizes you for circumstances that are out of your control, which causes frustrating, messy battles. Success depends more on good fortune than on decisive strategy. This game is not for the faint of heart. You take on the role of a young woman who inherits her uncle's equestrian center. It needs a bit of repair, and since he passed away, his riding club has suffered somewhat, with a local rival winning all the competitions. You also inherit one of his horses, which you must train and compete to revive the riding club and the equestrian center. The goal of the game is to win all of the major competitions. The plot is more complex than just train, compete, repeat. There are other objectives to perform, such as raising another club member and assisting with town chores to advance the main story. You can also take part in mini-quests, explore the virtual world, and earn extra money by offering carriage rides to passing tourists. The game allows for quite a bit of customization. Throughout the game, you can purchase horses in any one of the 6 different colors, along with different tack and outfits. The horses can be purchased and trained in whatever order you choose. Before moving on to the next part of the story, you can train and ride a new horse through all of the prior competition levels. This is a story of people who fought in World War II, brave pilots who soared through the vast skies, and smart engineers who helped them by managing their planes. And until the last plane, you've been assigned to the management of an airfield. You must spend your military resources wisely, recruit pilots, and create the right parts of your planes. When you're ready, you can send a squadron out to accomplish the next critical mission. The gameplay in Until the Last Plane is varied, challenging, and customizable. From repairing planes and managing a workshop to dogfights and completing mini-games to dropping bombs on targets during missions and more, the full cycle of preparation and execution is represented with unique play mechanics. You must master them all to keep the war machine running in your favor. Once you learn the game's specifics and most effective tactics, Until the Last Plane can become briefly addictive, but there is a lot of repetition. You simply repeat the same menu options over and over again, even though there are a few different mission types and objectives. The Diofield Chronicle is a strategy role-playing video game co-created by Square Enix and Landcars. The game was released on September 2022. It uses cutting-edge technology to bring a grim and engrossing story to life. The game also introduces the new, highly strategic real-time battle system known as Real-Time Tactical Battle. It tells a story of an epic tale of war and honor. The game features a deep yet original real-time warfare system and a distinctive and gorgeous environment that combines fantasy, medieval, and modern inspirations. In this game, battles are won by making quick assessments of the battlefield and giving clear instructions that make use of your force's strengths and limitations to your advantage. You can successfully achieve your goal by utilizing a wide range of abilities, classes, and tools. The game features incredibly accurate representations of the island of Diofield's landscapes along with special diorama style visuals that let you direct your trips like a general. The Diofield Chronicle provides a story about countries in conflict over resources, which is not particularly original for an SRPG story. But as soon as the introduction is through, the narrative immediately turns into a gripping tale of kings and nobles engaged in a tug-of-war for political influence. Square Enix and Acquire created and released the role-playing video game Octopath Traveler 2. It is the third installment in the series and the follow-up to Octopath Traveler. It raises the bar for the series' HD 2D graphics, a combination of retro pixel art and 3D CG. 8 new travelers set off into an exciting new era in the realm of Celestia. Each character has a unique path action that the player can perform to have that character interact with other non-player characters in the game environment. This is frequently done to obtain rewards or recruit others to fight for the player's cause. You can travel the seas and discover the entire surface of a changing world from day to night. The ability to choose the jobs and skills of your travelers, as well as the break and boost mechanism that makes battles so thrilling, have all been carried over from the original game. Octopath Traveler 2 is not just a fantastic end destination, but it also is a rewarding journey. It offers a captivating world, challenging yet engaging combat, fluid builds that reward tweaking, an amazing score, and strong character arcs for each of its characters. The acclaimed RPG Classics Remastered Edition was made available in 2019. Romancing Saga 3 was first released in Japan in 1995 and created by seasoned industry professionals. This HD remake of the renowned RPG masterwork adds improved graphics, a new dungeon to discover, new scenarios, and a new Game Plus feature. You can choose one of the 8 unique protagonists and set off on an epic journey shaped by your decisions. More characters can be discovered and added to the player's party throughout the game. Although there are a few notable differences, The gameplay is comparable to other console RPGs of the era. For example, instead of level ups, character stats increase individually depending on their participation in a battle. Characters can learn spark new skills in a battle that frequently help them win. The same is true of learning how to avoid specific enemy attacks. According to the game's narrative, an occurrence known as the Rise of Morastrum happens once every 3 centuries. During this time, a solar eclipse killed all babies, but saved only one, who is known as the Child of Destiny and received enormous power. The fate of the world is in doubt. Will there be another Child of Destiny? Will the baby be good, bad, or some other unimaginable force? In conclusion, the game offers an entertaining combat system, but the narrative and plot fall short of the potential of the universe and cast of characters. Romancing Saga 3 is worth a try, but those who are prepared will appreciate it the most. The classic role-playing game The Last Remnant, which was last released in 2008, has been remastered and now incorporates all additional features that were added to the earlier ported versions. The game's graphics have been upgraded thanks to a new game engine. The game takes place in a fictional world with various city-states and 4 different species living there, and it centers on a young warrior who is on a mission to put an end to the conflict. Their history includes a war with remnants, magical artifacts of varying forms. A unique warfare system in the game allows the user to control various groups or unions of characters rather than a single unit. A battle system described in the game as turn-based, command-based using symbol encounters is featured. During a battle, each enemy from the world screen is represented by a group or union of enemies ranging from 1 to 5 individual units. Similarly, the player's forces are composed of multiple unions of 3 to 5 units each. The outcome of the conflict will significantly change with the morale system, which shows the strength and morale of each character throughout the fight. Increasing attack power or reducing damage taken will provide beneficial effects to the battle. You can also take advantage of several other elements in the battle system besides formations and critical triggers. Legend of Mana HD Remaster was released across several platforms in 2021. It is an action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix. Like previous games in the Mana series, Legend of Mana displays an angled top-down perspective, in which the player characters navigate the terrain and fight off hostile creatures. Up to 2 companions can aid the player while controlling the game's unidentified main character. Before realizing that the world map is empty, you must embark on a quest to find the fabled mana tree that you glimpsed in a dream. You will find special artifacts on your journeys that you may put anywhere on the map to bring towns and dungeons to life and advance the story. Explore the vast world of Fadiel, engage in a combat with terrifying monsters, and meet a colorful cast of characters. You may alternate between the new and original soundtracks, the never-before-released minigame Ring Ring Land, and the ability to turn off enemy encounters are included in the remaster. Legend of Mana is akin to an intricately intertwined collection of fairy tales with memorable characters, scenes, and plot arcs. The game is essentially based solely on side missions, and these side missions are amazing. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Check out our other videos for more gaming content and recommendations. We thank you for your interest and hope to see you at the next one. Everyone, happy gaming!